Hello and welcome to Jumpin' Johnny Gaming Retro Walkthroughs. This Final Fantasy II Pixel Remastered video is the first part of the 100% walkthrough. This series of videos will help you get every trophy, treasure chest, facing every enemy for the bestiary, locations, passwords and general tips for the game and boss fights. Unlike the first Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered, there is missable treasure chests and enemies, and this will be pointed out to you. Also, I didn't use boosts in the first game, as I like leveling up naturally in the Final Fantasy games, but I would recommend using the boosts, which you can find in your menu, as the leveling system is horrible in this game, where your stats is determined on what you do. So using magic ups your magic stats, getting hit ups your defense and HP, and to grind and get decent stats, you have to spend time just hitting yourself, using the spells you want to level up, and healing yourself, which gets old fast, and using boosts and taking advantage of the leveling system will really overpower you quickly. Makes a lot of the game easier, which is a shame, but the boost is optional, and should you like a challenge, feel free not to use them. There is a few differences from the original game. The game takes more of a story-based game than the original, and you can see the formation of what the Final Fantasy series is known for, epic sweeping stories. The characters are still basic, but they are named. The very first battle in the game is designed for you to lose, so it doesn't matter what you do, and the Black Knight encounter does not count for the bestiary. When the game begins, talk to Hilda, and she will give you your first password to learn, which is Wild Rose, and you must select the Learn option and click on the Wild Rose in order for you to learn it, and the passwords need to be learned, so you can progress with the story. There is a trophy for learning all 15 passwords, and there is a few that are missable. If you want to use boosts, go in your main menu and into configuration. You already have HP given to you after so many battles activated, and turn everything to ×4. Even the guild, as you will be doing less battles than normal in leveling up, you will need the guild to go with it. Now if you have played the first Final Fantasy, the menu and setup is pretty much the same. Items is where your items that you can use in the overworld and battle, and key items are stored here. Magic works a lot different than the first game as the leveling system, and there is no character level up, and they have no specific roles, and any character that you play can learn magic, use any weapon, and you can have a good balanced party of everything or focus on different roles yourself. So you can buy magic tombs from the shop, and anyone can learn them, and they can level up to level 16, with each level up costing more MP and getting more powerful. The equip is the same as the first one, with one difference. You can now use weapons like Maria's bow, so you can't hold a shield, and you can also equip 2 weapons instead of a weapon and a shield. Try to stick with similar weapons to each character, as each weapon type can level up to 16. Even the shields can level up to 16. Formation has a use in the second game. You can now put people in the back or front row. For example, Firion and Guy is in the front row, and Maria with her bow is in the back row. She can do the same damage with a long range weapon, and gets less damaged when attacked because she's in the back row. Key items is your passwords learned, and you can mess around with the configuration options. I kept everything the default setting, and you can save on the overworld and use quick save if needed. Talk to Minwu, the white wizard to the left, and use the Wild Rose password. Pretty sure not needed for story progression, but useful to get used to using the password system. Exit the room, head down and left to get your first treasure chest, and this is a missable treasure chest, as later on in the story you won't be able to access this place. In the chest is a potion. These restore 50 HP. Exit the building, and in most towns like this you will have an inn that you can spend guild to rest and regenerate all your HP and MP, but not revive KO'd characters. You have to go to a church, and to do that, just like in the original game. The difference is, in the inns, it's not a set price in a specific town. The more HP and MP you need to restore, the more it will cost. You will also have item, weapon, armor shops and magic shops. Magic shops are not divided by white and black magic. All magic is bought in the one magic shop. Go to the armor shop and buy some defensive gear for all your characters with the money you got. Buy a buckler for Guy, and only buy a buckler for Maria if you are not going to stick with the bow. Entirely up to you what weapons your party will be skilled in. Buy leather caps and leather gloves for all 3 characters. Time to level up a bit and get some gills so you can buy the cure spell. I'm making Maria my main white mage, but you want all characters to learn the cure spell, always handy. I'm having Firion as my black magic caster, but you want one other to have some of the main black magic spells. You will, for a long time, have a rotating cast of characters taking the 4th party member spot, until you will get a permanent member. None of the 3 different enemies will pose any threat. Hornets can cause poison, and any poisoned character will lose HP on each turn. Unlike the first game, the status will disappear when the battle ends, so don't worry about antidote potions. The second enemy you can face is leg eaters, the weakest enemy in the game and nothing special to note. The final enemy you can encounter is a returning enemy from the original game, the Goblin, and again is a very weak enemy. So spend a few battles boosting your stats, whittle down any enemies until you have 1, and then use magic or attacks and attack yourself to do damage, and then use cure, and this will build up your cure spells, and spend 5 or 10 minutes doing this every now and again, especially when you have new spells, and always level up previous spells as well. Once you're happy with as much leveling as you want to do, it's time to move on with the main quest, and head up across the bridge and follow the path to a little town called Gatria. I bought the javelin for Guy, but I will stick with axe type weapons for now with him. Weapon choices you don't have to follow exactly, you will be fine regardless what weapons you use, especially with boost and grinding for stats. Then head to the top left of the town and speak to the person with blue hair, and he will mention the bar in Finn, then exit the town. Head left across the bridge. You will see the water on your right. Follow that water all the way around to reach Finn. Make sure you enter the village, not the castle. Don't talk to any of the Imperial soldiers or you'll enter a battle you won't win. There is the same basic enemy encounters in the town. Head all the way to the armor shop, go past the fence and go all the way around to the right to be able to access the pub. Head up and talk to the bartender in the top right corner and use the Wild Rose password. And you can access an exit to the right, enter and get the 3 treasure chests, and talk to the soldier in bed and use the Wild Rose password. Now return to the first city in the game, Altair, and return to Princess Hilda, and like passwords you can select key items in dialogue, and pick the ring that the soldier give you. During the dialogue with Hilda, you will be able to learn the mithril password, and then talk to Minwu, the white mage to the left, and he will join your party. And don't worry about leveling him too much, as he will be a temporary party member, which you will get a rotating number of party members until you get your permanent 4th member. Talk to Hilda to learn about the Dreadnought password, and then ask her about Dreadnought for the airship password. Now you have your first major mission to find out about mithril. We will be going through another few towns and then the first dungeon. First, buy a leather cap and some gloves for Minwu. When you are travelling back to the overworld, you have the canoe that Minwu give you. This allows you to travel along shallow waters, light blue water in the overmap. Unlike the original game, you don't get random encounters while travelling in the canoe. Head across the bridge that's north and go in the shallow water and head right to the next town. Head to the item shop and buy a couple of Phoenix Downs just in case you get KO'd. And go in the armor shop and buy all the upgrades you need for all 4 characters. You can buy some new spells from the magic shop: Blink, which casts evasion on a character, which makes them harder to hit; Protect, which lessens physical damage; and Shell, which lessens magic damage. And then level up your spells a few times in battle. You can pay to take the ship to the next town needed, but to level up and encounter different monsters, and work towards defeating 500 enemies, I walked it. Head up until you reach the mountains, then head right and then up. You should have mountains to the left of you and the sea to the right of you. A new enemy can be encountered around the outside of Palam is the Sprinter, a hardier enemy but still easy to defeat. They appear frequently in the first dungeon. Another new enemy you can encounter: stronger versions of leg eaters. They are still weak and can cause poison with their attacks. Continue up and then head right and then down to the town of Puffed. Another new enemy you can encounter is the Soldier, the highest attack from an enemy you have encountered so far. And a note about magic: unlike the original Final Fantasy, you don't have separate spells for single and multiple attacks. If you want to cast fire to all enemies, you press the D-pad or analog left or right, and you'll see the arrow spread amongst all enemies, but the damage will be spread as well. The same can be done with Cure. You can single cure one party member or all party members. Head to the pub straight to the left and ask the person on the right with grey hair. This begins the Final Fantasy tradition of having a character named Sid in most of the Final Fantasy games. Ask him about the airship and he tells you. You can pay and use the airship to fly to your next destination, but again, I am walking up. Exit the town, head up as far as you can and you will see some snowy mountains. Then head left into the next town. In this area you can face some new enemies. You can face Goblin Guards, a returning enemy from Final Fantasy, slightly stronger than goblins with double of their HP. Another new enemy you can face in this area is the Sasquatch. You can also face these in the first dungeon. They are weak enemies and should give you no trouble. You can buy some new weapons and armor. Head to the top right house and you'll see a girl outside. Enter, and in the top left is Joseph. Talk to him and ask him about Mithril, and you will be tasked with rescuing some people from a place called Semmit Falls. And this is your first dungeon, so make sure you're all healed up and leveled up your stats the best you want it to be. There is new spells to buy. Buy at least Life and Teleport. Life is handy to restore any KO'd party members, and makes your boost and stat battles longer, so you don't have to worry about fallen members and losing their stats. Teleport is very handy to teleport out of dungeons. Head left and you will see the cave entrance below. Go left and then into the shallow water to reach the cave. Along the way you can face a stronger version of the Hornet, the Queen Bee, still capable of poison attacks. Head left along the linear path. You will see a blue diamond and a path that's blocked. We will be back here at a later time. Keep following the path and then head left at the split and then up for a chest. Head back down at the split and then head down and then aim for the bottom right of the area for a chest. Head all the way left with the exit to the next floor, then head to the top left of the area for a chest containing an eye drop item. These cure the blind status. Head back and then up to the next chest containing a high potion. These restore more HP than a potion. Then head to the bottom right of the area for another chest. Head up and take the left door. The other doors lead to dead ends in random battles. Then on floor B3, head straight down for a chest. Head back up and you see a bridge on the left. Cross the bridge for a chest and then back over the bridge and head up and you will see the people you need to rescue. Talk to the guy with grey hair and a cloak, and they will proceed to exit the cave. Exit to the stairs to the right to bring you to the next floor. Then head up across the bridge and get a chest. Then cross the bridge on the right. A new enemy you can face in this dungeon is the balloon, a recurring Final Fantasy enemy, and you should take them out with fire or thunder spells. If the balloons survive attack, it will cast self-destruct, a powerful attack. At the bridge crossway, head up the top bridge and follow the path around to the bottom right exit. And another new enemy you can face is the green slime, which appeared in the first game. It has high physical defense, so use magic to defeat it. It can also poison you. Cross the bridge and head to the top right, and there will be a chest, but it will be guarded by a mini boss called a land turtle. Has a high physical defense and weak against ice. Head back down and cross the bridge, and head up and enter the top left door, and you will see an enemy, and this is your first boss of the game. The boss uses the bow 3 ability, so it can deal large damage to your back row. It has high stats, and if you've never boosted any stats at all, you will struggle on the boss. Use your best magic spells and use Minwu to cast Protect and Blink on your party, and heal if you need to. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, where there are more complete retro walkthroughs plus achievement and trophy guides, secrets and tips from the latest releases. Thanks for watching.